and roll, Chicago. Rock and roll, Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best you're ever around.
Hey, this is Paul Martin
And Ray the Roadie.
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. What's up, Ray?
It's hotter than Hades around here.
Yeah, you like that. You like that hot weather, though, don't you?
I do, especially when you got a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Except, it is so hot right now, the pool isn't even refreshing.
Really?
Yeah, the water's so warm.
Well, it's like bath water, huh? You just
Yeah.
stick a bar of soap in there and wash up.
Did you drive by and see me? Was that you?
Yeah, good thing I can only see from your neck down. Or neck up, I mean. Neck up. I couldn't see from your neck down.
Good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been toasty, but, like you said, I enjoy the warm weather. I'll take that any day. How you been? What have you been up to?
I've been, not much. We just talked with Rockabilly sensation Everett Dean today.
He's from my neck of the woods, Frankfurt.
He is. He's originally from Frankfurt. Now he lives in St. Louis, but he plays a lot in Chicago, plays a lot in St. Louis, in Missouri, and points in between.
Definitely in between, like Bloomington.
Like Bloomington, like Decatur. He plays quite a bit. Unfortunately, not so much right now, as is the case with just about every band, every musician, every artist that is out there. They're not playing much right now, but they will get back to it, and I'm sure Everett Dean will get back to it as well. But we talked with him, and let's see what he has to say and see what's happening in the world of Everett Dean.
That's right, and away we go.
We're meeting today with Everett Dean. Everett Dean is a rockabilly sensation from St. Louis, actually from Chicago and St. Louis. How you doing today, Everett?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing good. So
Doing great.
Kind of explain this whole Chicago and St. Louis thing. Now you're originally from Chicago area, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I moved away in 2007. I joined the witness protection program. So,
So this is the first time you're out. Nobody's seen you since 2007.
that's right. It's the Rockabilly witness protection program.
So where were you from in Chicago?
Yeah. I'm from the south suburbs. Originally grew up in Frankfurt, Illinois, and then moved to Tinley Park in my senior year of high school. So I was more towards the south suburbs, growing up, hanging out, stuff like that.
And why the move to St. Louis?
My parents lived down here, and they moved down here, and I followed a few months later, 6 months later or so.
So did you start performing up here, or did you get into it when you got down there?
No, I started performing out there, but up in Chicago. But the weird thing is my following grew after I moved to St. Louis up in Chicago. A lot had to do with I didn't play up there a lot as much as I used to. So the word started spreading for our band and everything. So we started getting a better following. So the following just kind of just took off from when I moved away.
More fans down in the St. Louis area, or that appreciate that kind of music, or?
Well, the thing about St. Louis is it's a smaller city. So when I say my following grew, I meant in the Chicagoland area grew more.
Okay.
In St. Louis, the issue I have is I play up or down here a lot. Not since COVID, but I might be selling out every night in Chicago, but because I'm in St. Louis like playing 3 nights a week, everybody starts, kind of disperses because they can see me any night. You know what I mean? Where Chicago might be once a month. So, I still have a good following down here. I'm not saying I'm not. It's just a different type of thing.
So how are you surviving the whole COVID-19 thing?
I'm doing good. you know.
Have you had any shows recently?
I had an acoustic show 2 or 3 weeks ago, but really with nothing with the band. My first show is going to be this Thursday at Venutis in Addison. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be a good crowd. But as far as any shows in St. Louis, nothing with the band, just like a little acoustic stuff right now.
Are they open for shows down there or no?
They are, but because some of these venues, they don't want to bombard their crowd. You take 5 people in a band and add that to the list. They want more customers for drinking because of social distancing. So, I mean, we actually took a step back. I was in Table Rock Lake over the weekend, and when I get back, I mean, before you could walk into a store and it was your choice to not have a mask or not, you know, and now no matter what, you have to wear a mask.
Okay.
It definitely took a step back here. So
Yeah, which I think it has just about everywhere,
yeah.
according to the news anyway.
I was in Branson too over the weekend, working on some negotiations, and down there nobody was wearing masks.
So tell us how it all got started. Now I know you won some kind of a contest when you were 12 years old, but
That's right.
but tell us about that. What was that about?
Well, that was around 2002.
Okay.
No, so I won the contest when I was 12 years old. Actually, I even way before that, when I was about 5 or 6, might have been 7, I'm not sure, but I was in a lip syncing contest, meaning I didn't sing at all, and I just danced to Blue Suede Shoes, and I won first place on that. And then when I was 12 years old, I won a singing contest in, I think it was 7th grade. I guess you're 12 around then, and won singing Elvis's "Good Rockin' Tonight," and that was my first basically live singing performance in front of a pretty decent crowd.
Was it a talent show or something?
It was like a talent contest, yes. And the girl who beat me actually sang Mariah Carey's "Hero." She's known to perform in Las Vegas, so that happened.
So did you start doing this at home? Is this something that you was just started out as like a hobby, or?
So the first, I mean, I don't remember this, but the first song I ever heard was Hound Dog. It was a few days old.
Mm-hmm.
And then what made me walk was my dad holding up a cassette of Elvis. So from that point on, I guess it was just went into my system, you know what I mean? Listen to Elvis and watching the documentaries and the videos of, old Elvis movies and stuff, and slow motioning his moves. And then I started discovering, when I got into high school, other artists like Eddie Cochran and Charlie Rich's Rockabilly stuff, because he was with Sun Records in the 50s and early 60s. A lot of people don't know that. So I started discovering his Rockabilly. And then I found out about Gene Vincent, and then Stray Cats, of course. And then when I was graduating high school, I found out, when I started, my buddies told me, quit doing the Elvis, start doing Rockabilly. And then from that point on, I started getting inspired to write originals too, and do my own music instead of covers.
So your dad must have been, or your parents must have been into the Elvis sound and obviously the Rockabilly sound, because you're relatively young, and it's surprised you weren't into Mariah Carey and some of the other stuff. So your parents must have been into that, huh?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, my dad especially. He sang around the house, for fun, like Elvis.
Does he play an instrument or anything?
He used to mess around with the bass a little bit and guitar, but nothing like serious. I mean, I don't think he probably picked one up in about 20 years. I haven't picked one in 20 days. It's funny. I did that acoustic show here in St. Louis, and besides writing music here and there, I don't pick up my guitar a lot, so I lost all my calluses. It's gonna hurt my first gig back, I think.
Yeah, you got to get primed up for that. Yes. play a little bit and get those calluses back.
So you say you've written some of your own original material. Is it out on an album?
Yeah, I have three albums out. My first one is self-titled, Everett Dean. My second album that has 10 songs. The second one has 4 songs. It's called Honey Poppin' Daddy, the album. And then my third one, which is on Blue Lotus Records, that album is called 10 Foot Pole. I also have a single on iTunes. The song Honey Poppin' Daddy we remixed, re-recorded, and it's called Honey Poppin'. It's one word. And it's a mixture of rockabilly, hip-hop, and electronic music. And this Friday, I'm going back into the studio and recording some new material that I wrote. I've been inspired to write. And then I'm also going to work on possibly doing a cover CD, of cover songs of other artists, Elvis, Buddy Holly, which I'm not positive, but I actually might just, if I record it, give it away with every purchase of an original CD, or something like that. Or if you buy a block of CDs, you get that one free.
Go ahead, tell us about it for your first CD. Everett, just self-titled, Everett Dean, correct?
Yeah. It's all more. That's more traditional, original rockabilly. So when I shouldn't say rockabilly, I should say roots music. So I have a song on there there's several songs on there. It's like your typical rockabilly, and then I cross over into some like old school country, some surf, some ballad. I even have a Latin flavored song called Kiss Me Quick, Kiss Me True in there.
Kiss me quick, kiss me true. I'm the one who loves you. Hold me tight and please be fair. Kiss me quickly down your hair.
And we recorded that at Wall-to-Wall Studios. I don't even know if it's still around in Chicago. It was originally Zenith Studios. And the Red Walls actually recorded there. They're a bigger group from Chicago in like the early 2000s, late 90s. They were on Leno or Letterman. Anyway, I recorded there on a reel-to-reel. And at one of the songs, I actually wanted to do another take after I recorded, like a few days later, but the reel broke. So, and I said, well, I want the echo from the authentic. That's when I really wanted everything authentic. So I'm like, well, we'll just keep it. So
you never got the opportunity to re-record it?
No, I just kept it. And now I'm glad I kept it. When you record and you can be hard on yourself, especially when that was my first CD. And, it's hard to hear yourself. You know how like when you call yourself hear yourself talking on a phone or something. Sometimes it's hard to listen to yourself. That's how it is for me, listening to myself sing.
Okay. And sometimes the first time is the best one.
Right, that's true.
So then tell us about now the Honey Poppin' Daddy is you said it's got 4 songs on it. So is it more of an EP? Yep.
It's the first song is called Honey Poppin' Daddy. How I came up with the song was I was watching with, I don't remember who I was watching it with, but Willy Wonka, the original Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory, and it mentioned candy and stuff like that in the song. Every lyric has a play on with the words with candy, like licorice sticks, things like that. Lemon drops, liquor's quicker, but candy's dandy. That's a saying that he used. So I made candy a little naughty.
I'm just some honey poppin' daddy with some candy. Sugar-coated candy kisses that are sweet. I'm sweet tooth for you, baby, you're so dandy. I'm about to sweep you off your feet.
So that's the first song. And then the second song is called, it's a really long title. It's called When Your Heart Beats to the Left and Your Kisses Move Just Right. It is typical like country title. The third one is called Double Decker Train. And then the fourth one's called She's Got the Wiggle.
But now there's got to be a story behind that one, huh?
There's always the wiggle doesn't work, we're out, you know.
So
There's
now
always-
your third CD or third album is called 10-Foot Pole, which is kind of
Yep.
appropriate right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, man, you know, actually, it's funny because we did that song, I think 2-3 years ago, and it's about not touching, keeping somebody at a distance with a 10-foot pole. And I'm like, man, this could be used with quarantine, you know, be the national song of quarantine and COVID. But
Got to get it out there. Get it out there. Get a publicist. Get it out there.
yeah, I agree.
10-foot pole, a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole, a 10-foot pole, a 10-foot pole. Girl, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole.
So you're working on something right now?
Huh?
So you are working on another album, or you just
Yeah.
got some songs?
I am. I got a bunch of songs, some from the past that I wrote and some that I recently wrote, and I'm taking them, and the past ones I kind of rewrote some of it. I'll just give you an example. One of the songs I wrote was a song called Twizzler Twist, and Twizzler Twist I was trying to give to Twizzlers candy, but they wanted to own the song, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't just give it away even for money because I really like it. It's a good song. I think it's a good song. It's very Beatle-ish, and it would go good with candy and Twizzlers commercials. So I don't know, maybe I'll take it and rewrite it for Twizzlers and then keep my version for myself.
There you go.
I might change the actual title too for my CD to like Twizzle Twist or something, and then give Twizzler Twist.
So getting back to the to your age, and we don't need to give that away if you don't want to, but
That's
you,
fine.
what's that?
I said it's fine. I'm only 24.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you this: how do you have you ever written something? Let's put it this way: have you ever written a song that you go, "Why this doesn't fit the rockabilly theme to what I'm doing," and it's maybe more rock and roll, or maybe more alternative, or something like that? Because to get in a frame of mind of writing just rockabilly at your age seems to be you have to be in a zone, I would think, to do that.
Actually, recently I've been trying to stay away from writing just rockabilly, because rockabilly music is basically 3 chords, and so I've been trying to listen more. The Beatles have inspired me a lot to get away from that. So listening to, you know, even the solo stuff by the Beatles, like Lennon stuff and McCartney stuff. So I've been, trying to figure out how to do this, and I'm gonna come up with some cool stuff. I also wrote a country song years back that I'm going to be putting on the CD. It's called Hillbilly Redneck Queen, and it's the answer to Just a Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson. And actually, if I had the connection, I'd like to give it to something Toby Keith would do. Totally. It's, it's talking about Johnny Walker and Jack Daniels and this. I don't want to give it too much away, but the worms rhyme, and it would be something that would definitely hit the charts, I think, in country if the right guy had it.
Well, rockabilly is still a viable thing in music today. It's very, very popular. And are your crowds, do you have a young crowd that comes out to see you, or most of your crowd's a little bit older?
Well, in St. Louis, when we played like the club circuit out here, it's mostly younger people, just your typical college girls, cute little college girls. So the following there, it's a lot younger than the Chicagoland area, but it's just a mixture. We do the festivals a lot. Well, we were going to do the festivals a lot this year, and of course that's all ages and families and everything. So and it depends who we open up for too. When you open up for we opened up for Peter Noon. We had an older crowd there, but when I opened up for Justin Bieber, you know, it was only young girls. So
Really, you opened up for Justin Bieber, huh?
no, I made that up.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Well, I see you opened up for Plain White Tees, right?
Yeah, I did open up for Plain White Tees. That was cool. That was at the Decatur, I think it was Decatur Celebration. Man, that was a huge crowd. Yeah, it was really neat. Are they still around?
oh, yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
They're from the Chicagoland area.
Right.
Yeah, the western suburbs.
So obviously, you feel that the rockabilly is kind of a timeless entity, I guess, because it still attracts young people and old. And so, tell us about Honey Poppin', the rap version or the hip hop version.
Well, so I had this idea and I brought it to, you know, I was at this time when I came up with this idea, I didn't know how to mix rockabilly and hip hop at all. So I brought it to a producer named Eric Olson, who plays a mixture of stuff and actually does mixing of hip hop. And him and I got together with it and called up a rapper named Sincere. Eric sent me a bunch of recordings of different rappers, and I picked Sincere. And Sincere wrote the rap part for that song. And basically, we just re-recorded it. And then what they did was they took the drummer Joe Smith, and he would do the click parts, so make that rockabilly sound. And then once they recorded several different drum takes, they took the beats, the electronic beats, and started recording that. And then they put the drum part over the beats. And then he came in and laid down the piano parts. And then we called the Jersey Girls. They came in and recorded the background vocals. So it's very neat. If you guys have it, you know, check it out. If you don't have it, check it out. I think I sent it to you though.
I be a honey poppin' daddy in my big old caddy. She wanna cruise through the valley with the wind in her head. Don't need a head every shop on the average spree. She just happy with a guy like me. I got a bag full of goodies and they fresh up the oven like Betty Crocker. She needs some love and my love is as sweet as licorice. Come here and get a Hershey's kiss of this. And we can talk about the version of bees, cause I got a lot of honey if you know what I mean. I ain't got a lot of money, but you know what it be. So come in, mommy, step a little closer. Jump on in, I'll be your chauffeur. First stop, Candyland. I'll be your honey poppin' daddy with a candy man.
Yeah.
But and now, who are the Jersey Girls?
The Jersey Girls, well, the original Jersey Girls that I worked with on that recording, they're from Chicagoland area, and they started out doing the music of the Jersey Boys. That's how they got the name. And then they decided to do other mixtures of music. So they do everything now. And they do originals. But we toured together. We played Vegas together. We played Tuba City, Arizona, which was probably my biggest crowd I ever played. It was about 10 to 15, our estimation of 10 to 15,000 people in the audience. And we did that tour together. But anyway, so we became really good friends, and they laid their vocals on the recordings and on the video that you saw. They're pretty sexy too.
That helps, right?
Yeah, especially being on tour with three girls, you can't complain. Well, sometimes you can. But.
So how'd you feel playing in front of 10 to 15,000 people?
It was great. It was cool. Everybody was so nice. It was on a Navajo Nation Indian reservation. It was actually, I believe, 2 years ago this week. 2 or 3 years. Yeah, 2 years ago this week, I think. It was just the neatest experience. But, you know, the bad thing about it was, you know, we flew in from Chicago in July. We went in, we flew from O'Hare to Vegas, and they lost the girls' luggage with all the costumes.
So they have outfits. Yeah, I was going to say they have outfits or costumes, right? Yeah.
So we had to, on the road, stop over and go shopping. And we went shopping really quick. and it was a 3-4 hour drive from Vegas to Tuba City, Arizona. And then we got over there, and man, if you've never been in Arizona, it is a nightmare to perform outside because my eyes dried out, my vocal cords dried out. It was so, I mean, I can still sing, but it was just so dry that it was crazy. I never experienced anything like this. You know, you're in the desert, so. Huh?
I was gonna say I've been in Vegas like that, where it's gotten so hot and dry that your eyes dry out, your mouth, everything. It's different.
Yeah, it is. And the thing about Vegas, though, you're kind of indoors. Direct outdoors. And then we got to hang out in the next morning at the Navajo Nation, and we saw some historical stuff. It was just so neat, to learn some of the stuff that we did. So
that's great. You now you have one band, but you have two separate bands, correct?
Yeah, so I have basically 3 bands, but 2 are my main ones. I have a St. Louis band and a Chicago band, and then sometimes a Cincinnati band, but they've been busy working with somebody else. So when I'm in St. Louis, I use a St. Louis band. When I'm in Chicago, I use a Chicago band. And then whichever is closer to wherever I'm going to play, that's the band I usually bring.
I said, what do you do when you play like in Bloomington then? You're about halfway.
That's funny you say that, because once I played Bloomington, I used a St. Louis band. Another time I played it, and I used a Chicago band. So I think it was just for that, whoever's available.
Now in the band, you play acoustic guitar, correct? And sing.
And electric. Indeed, I play rhythm.
And but then you have a lead guitar player and a stand-up bass, right?
Right.
And a keyboard player?
No more stand-up bass. No, it's just a regular bass guitar. Usually it's a Hofner bass.
And,
Right.
and a drummer and a keyboard player, correct?
Yep.
So it's a 4-piece plus you. So
Right.
that's awesome.
5-piece and a coleslaw.
With a large Coke.
Yeah, right. And some biscuits. Now I'm getting hungry.
So you've got some shows coming up, hopefully?
Yeah, definitely this Thursday, unless something changes that I didn't hear of. But this Thursday, we're doing the smaller shows right now. I was in Branson for some meetings, but I think that's going to be postponed. We were possibly going to do the end of July, but when I was down there, seeing everything was just honestly dead out there. The shows, I went to a couple shows and there was only like 40 people in the audience. I'm like, I could do that. I can do more than that wherever I go out here,
Mm-hmm.
So, good. I have Orland Park Fest as of right now.
Orland Park? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Taste of Orland. I think that's August 2nd.
That's near us.
Yeah.
We're near Ray anyway.
Yep.
So tell us about some of the shows that you've been involved with down in Branson. And I know you played Elvis and you played in the Buddy Holly story, correct? And so tell us a little bit about that.
So in 2011, I was in a show called Jukebox Journey. It's actually kind of a strange story. So this girl, Holly Keith, calls me. She met me on MySpace. Remember MySpace?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she called me and she's like, "Hey, Everett, I got this show for us. Why don't you come down to Branson and let's make this happen with these other entertainers I know." So I go down there. We go in. Now the owner of the theater, he wasn't there, but his partner was. And we walk into the theater expecting it to be a done deal, and the guy doesn't know what's going on. So we basically auditioned for him, and we got the show. So that first year, in 2011, I was in a show called Jukebox Journey, and I played Elvis and Buddy Holly, and then myself in it. Holly Keith in there, and and Hillary Keith, and then David Brooks, who does Jerry Lee Lewis, and we did that show, and it was pretty good. The producer, not to talk bad about anybody, but was kind of an idiot. I hope he doesn't hear this, but oh well. I'll give you an example, and if it's not understandable, let me know. But the Everly Brothers, Bye Bye Love, we used to do that in the show.
Yeah.
And the original recording, and I might be singing out of key right now because I just recently woke up, so my voice isn't with it. I woke up like 20 minutes ago. But it goes, bum bum bum, bye bye love, bye bye happiness. Okay,
Right.
So I mean, it goes in that rhythm, right? Well, the producer was telling us that we were doing it wrong at our rehearsals. We had like 8-hour rehearsals for like 3 weeks. So he wanted me to David and I to do it like this. Bye bye love, bye bye happiness. You hear that bye bye where I said that real fast?
Right.
Like that. And I told him, and he goes, I don't care. That's how you're doing it. I'm like, okay, fine, you're the boss, whatever. I'm not joking. We did that song for 8 months like that. The last month of the show, he tells me that what we were doing now was wrong, and we should do it the way I told him. But he didn't say the way I told him. He just goes, you guys are doing it wrong. It should be this way. And I go, this is what I told you. Look, you did not tell me that. I'm like, God.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I could see throwing that in there one time in the song. You know what I mean? Maybe, but not the whole song, right? Yeah.
So you said you played Buddy Holly, you played Elvis, and yourself.
right.
Do you find it hard to be playing yourself?
I have a story about that. I probably shouldn't tell you. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, you know the hardest thing about that was doing Branson was, like I said, we had rehearsals 8 hours a day, 3 weeks for 3 weeks, and when we were doing the rehearsals, we were just doing the music portion. We literally got the script 2 days before the show. I had to memorize 5+ pages of a script in literally 2 days. And the only thing that came to me was cell phones. I literally read the script into my phone and walked all around my apartment in Branson trying to listen to the script with everything I was doing. And I even went to bed with the phone playing me the script.
Yeah.
And I memorized it.
That's not much time.
No, it wasn't.
So you are in the what was it, Killer, the King, and Cash, right?
Well, in Branson, I was in an art show called Rockabilly Kings. But then when I left Branson, I produced a show called The Killer King Cash.
I see. Where'd you do that at?
Oh man, it was all over the country. Like I did it at Saber Room. I did it in Iowa at some theaters there. I did it in Chicago at some theaters, St. Louis, Bloomington. I mean, too many to say, but a lot of places.
I see.
So it's rather successful.
It was. I don't think people really liked the Killer though. When the guy came out in a clown outfit.
Wait a minute. So tell us this story now.
Oh, it was a joke. That was a joke. The Killer was Jerry Lee Lewis. I was just making up.
I see. Okay. Because well, we know the story of Jerry Lee Lewis. So
yeah. Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Johnny Cash show.
Right. But Jerry Lee, we'll leave that alone. But with his cousin and whatever happened there, I don't know. I don't know if, but you've got the look for the for Rockabilly. You got the nice hairdo going on, and your name kind of fits Rockabilly, I think.
Yeah, I guess my parents just planned it out right.
Yes. Do you have any brothers or sisters who are in the music business?
Not in the music business. My sister's a hairstylist, so I get all
that
my
works out good for you, right?
haircuts and color jobs, dye jobs for my hair free. I just gotta watch the kids sometimes. Her kids.
One hand washes the other, right?
That's right. That's right. And and as far as I only got one sister, so
So go ahead, Ray.
No, I was just going to say, so where can we find Everett Dean and your band and stuff on social media?
Yeah. So on my website, it's everettdean.com and everettdean.net. And on social media, it's facebook.com/everettdeanfans. And the reason why I have two websites is because I had to get everettdean.net because everettdean.com wasn't available. It was a lady who had, I guess, a son named Everett Dean, and it was all baby pictures. And so they, so when that became available, I scooped it up .net, or .com. I'm like, that's mine now. So now I guess she doesn't have baby pictures anymore.
And I'm sure we can find you on like Spotify, Pandora, all of them.
I'm on Spotify. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Amazon. All my merchandise is available at my website. So I'm on all platforms of music.
And of course, at all your shows.
Right. And then there's stuff in in other countries. I don't know I pay for it, so I don't know the digital platforms, but probably China, things like that.
Never know. You may be performing in Beijing someday.
Maybe. Hopefully I don't have to wear a mask.
We have some listeners overseas, so maybe we can get the Everett name Dean out there.
I don't know this. That's what I was told. My bass player in the Chicago band told me that I got a lot of hits on YouTube. I think it was like Norway and Sweden and stuff.
Nowadays with the internet, you can be everywhere.
That's right. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going too, even without the internet. Last summer, man, I'd be in Florida, Chicago, and I'd be like, was I just on this road? Did I just see myself pass by?
Well, that's good. It's a shame that he can't keep us busy this summer, but hopefully by next year, everything will be back to normal and we'll all be out there playing and enjoying music again.
Yeah, everything that got canceled for festivals this year has moved to next year.
It's kind of a shame.
It is.
So in the meantime, practice.
That's right. No, you know what I've been doing? Fishing.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not going to build those calluses up on your fingertips, though. So.
I know. Well, and then there was boating, too, over the weekend. And as I was boating, we went tubing. Oh, my goodness, man. Now, I work out every other day, like lifting weights and stuff. But, man, when you're tubing, you're holding yourself and, you're basically planking the whole time on that tube. Man, I use muscles I didn't even know I had.
And they'll let you know for the next couple of days.
That's right. In fact, I was going to work out yesterday, and I'm like, forget this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Ray, did you have another question?
No, I was just going to say, I would just want to thank you for joining us today. And hopefully we'll see you out. I mean, you're going to be pretty darn close to my house in Orland Park. I'll definitely come out there and see you.
Say hi, too.
Definitely.
Hopefully it doesn't I hope it just doesn't get canceled, though. But
yeah, we never know. Everything's day to day. But so far, I haven't heard a thing. As far as I know, it's still on.
Okay, yeah, that's what I heard.
And they were one of the only towns around here that had fireworks for the 4th of July. Nobody else had fireworks. Orland said they're going to do it, so they did it. All righty then. Well, once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you on the road, hopefully really soon.
Sounds good. Looking forward to meeting you guys. Stay healthy and safe.
Yeah,
same to you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Everett has left the building. There you have it, everybody. There's Everett Dean.
Everett Dean. Yes, indeed. Rockabilly sensation and a songwriter, too, which just amazes me that a young guy like that is into rockabilly and, first of all, and writes new rockabilly music. Definitely.
I mean, rockabilly has been around a long time, and it's got a unique fan base. You know, it's not really as popular everywhere, but there's still a lot of people that love the rockabilly.
Now, I failed to ask him this, but I was wondering, was rockabilly, wasn't called rockabilly back then? Rockabilly's kind of a more recent name for it. Isn't it called rock and roll?
I believe you're right. I believe when it first happened with Jerry Lee and Elvis and all them guys, yeah, it was just plain old rock and roll.
Like it says behind me, rock and roll.
Rock and roll, that's right. Hoochie coo, baby.
Rock and roll Chicago. That's why we're called the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
The rock and roll. Well, this week we're the Rockabilly Chicago podcast.
Okay, all right, that works.
So I think that we'll change it just for this week.
All right. Well,
next week you never know what we'll change it to.
Well, thanks. Hope you enjoyed Everett Dean, and thanks for tuning in to the Rockabilly Chicago podcast. And
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And don't forget to get out. If you see Everett Dean somewhere, he's going to be in at the Orland Park Taste of Orland come August. So if you happen to be up around that area, stop by, say you heard about him here on the Rockabilly Chicago podcast.
All righty. Sounds good.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
Chicago, rock and roll, Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here around.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music that's played on this podcast.
The music is used to promote the band or musicians that are interviewed.
Road to Rock Radio is proud to welcome Paul Martin
of M&R Rush and the Dancing Noodles
and Ray the Roadie.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Join Paul and Ray as they bring you weekly interviews from bands that have rocked Chicago.
It's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Monday night at 6 on Road to Rock Radio.
Chicago.